So what am I doing today? Today is September 19th. It is a Friday, and it is my friend Cindy's birthday. Happy birthday, Cindy. Happy birthday. All the chickens say happy birthday. Come on, say happy birthday. Smoke just stands there looking at me. He was crowing like crazy a minute and a half ago. But I am out here at the chicken coop and the Chicky Babe mansion, the chicken run, and I haven't put the information out yet, but here's a reveal. We had an attack, and it wasn't the cute chipmunk time. It was dogs from the neighborhood, and it happened last Saturday night, and I really haven't been able to talk about it for a few days, so I'm sorry this is so late in coming, but it was really upsetting. We lost 2 chickens, and unfortunately one of them was Bubbles, and then the other was one of the dino chickens. Now the dogs were not able to get into the mansion, but they did get into this area. See, there's one of the marauders. Can you see him over there? Little chipmunk. They were able to get into this run where the Chicky Babes are. And the Chicky Babes didn't know it was danger, I assume, until bad things started happening. I don't know if you can see that chipmunk right over there, but he's filling his little pouches with seeds and stuff. But it was very upsetting. I didn't hear a thing. That's what scares me, is the chickens weren't upset, but then they didn't know they were in danger until it all started happening. And the dogs weren't barking or yipping or doing anything. So I just happened to come out because it was feeding time. It was about 4:30 in the afternoon. And when I came around the corner from over there, I could see the dogs. And the thing was, when the dogs saw me, they started running toward me. Now, I don't know if they were friendly, just to say hi or whatever, but I wasn't going to wait around to find out. And I just started yelling, and I picked up, I think there was a shovel near me, started swinging that around, and the dogs took off toward their home. Now, I am not going to reveal their home on this video, but it's not far from here at all. I can see the place from here. So sadly, I called my neighbor Jim and told him what happened. He came over and he went over there and talked to them, because at that point I was in no shape to talk like a human being should. And plus I was crying so hard that it would not have been a good thing. When I realized I couldn't find Bubbles that first day. So I was hoping that she had gotten away and maybe got underneath one of the trailers and was hiding and was too afraid to come out. And it was getting dark and roosting time. So I finally decided, if she's gone to roost somewhere, then we'll just leave her to it and I'll see it in the morning. But unfortunately, one of the dino chickens was over in that corner, unalive, and all the rest of them had gotten up on top of the Chicky Babe mansion. So they ended up safe. Now, I did call law enforcement, and this homesteaders and off-gridders is the thing to be prepared for, is that unless there is major violence going on, you do not have law enforcement backup out here. Okay? From what I understand, there's no animal control out here either, but I don't know if I believe that. I still need to go into town and find out about that. So sadly, we've lost Bubbles, and sorry, I'm still upset about it, because she was the one who wasn't sure whether she was a girl, but she'd crow like the boys, and she'd guard the rest, and she'd walk around all regal like she owned the place and she was all that. And she was the one who had all the feathers on her feet. So, you know, just homesteaders, be very careful. All right, let's move on. So what I am doing today is, we realized in the break-in that my prior ranch hand, when I had asked him to reinforce up the sides of the coop, he had given me an argument that it was not necessary. And I said, well, whatever, whether you feel it's necessary or not, it needs to be done. And sadly, that's where the dogs got in, was over on this side, right down there. They had put a hole in it, and then over on that side, uh, you can see where that one seam has a lot of black zip ties. That one pole does. And down along the bottom, you can't see right now. But those are the 3 places that they got in. And that whole seam where all those black ties are, that whole thing was open. I think because we had the crappy white zip ties there, all the dogs had to do was jump against it, and they all broke. And that opened that seam. And then there was another seam along that pole, and I believe they had to do the same thing. Because the wire wasn't torn, it was just pushed in so that they could get in. So we did up those, and what I'm doing today is I had to go get another roll of this 1/4-inch hardware wire, and I folded it about actually the width of my foot, which is about 5 or 6 inches. I don't know, can you? I have a hard time seeing in this. So there's my foot right there. So the width of my foot, what I did was I rolled out a piece of wire, and you can see where I detached it from the end of the roll down there. And then I stepped on it with my foot and kicked on it with my other foot to fold it up. Then what I have done is I cut, I think you can see that, a slit in the hardware wire. Here's about 12 inches of extra along the edge. The front is reinforced, but this side is not. So I left this extra. I lifted up the coop because each corner and each of the down posts over there have a big round disc that has holes in it that's meant to use as an anchor. You know, to go through the holes and put anchors in the ground. So what I did was I cut slits in the wire, lifted up the coop, and slid the wire underneath. I think you can see where this wire is right up against the post on the bottom. And then I lifted up the coop the rest of the way, down the way, and slid the rest of the folded wire underneath. Now I am going to get down there and with wire, I'm not going to use zip ties anymore, but I have a big thing of baling wire, and this wire that I'm using right here is wire that this roll was wrapped in. So I'm starting with this wire, which is the same kind of wire that's over there. And I'm going in and out, in and out, in and out up here, and to hold it straight up. And then I will probably every foot or so, I'm going to take my heavy-duty baling wire and go down, wrap it around the pole, and then in between that, I'll do 2 more wraparounds, just small ones, around the pole. And that should be enough to make it so to deter the dogs. I hope so. I mean, worst comes to worst, G-Bear, I'll take your advice and put metal around this side. But for right now, this is what's within my budget. And the dogs are short and small, and so they would have to break through this top part, hop over this part, which I am leaving sharp edges against, and in order to get in the future. Now, this video, I think, is getting long. It's 15 minutes. And I know everybody's complaining about my long videos. So, I'm going to continue working on this. So we have Smoke and Buttercup and Elvis and 2 dino chickens left in Smoke's flock. And then, also, Blossom is okay. She was injured though, and so she is in a dog crate over near my the Blessed Mess while I am doctoring her. She's had about a 2-inch long cut on her back, and so I've been doctoring that since Sunday morning, because she and Elvis had hidden together, and I did not realize that she was injured until the next morning. So Sunday morning, I took her out, put her by herself, because she was getting picked on a lot. And I'm like, what is going on? And that's what it was. It turned out she had that cut on her back. So I have been taking care of her at my place this afternoon. Her in her dog crate is going to come back in here, and I'm going to put her over there where we had the roosters separated for a while, and she's gonna stay there for another few days to get reacquainted with the flock, and then I'll let her back out, and hopefully everyone will accept her again, and then she'll be healed up real well. So sorry this is such a bummer video. As soon as I'm finished with this one wall, the other wall is not reinforced, but if you can see, I've got some black hardware wire on the ground over there. And what's going to happen is that big long box contains another one of these buildings. And I am going to put that building up right up against this one, but it's going to start at that area. So all I have to do is reinforce that front half because we're going to eventually put a either another one of these which is just one with the door, or we're going to put a little building or something to house the water, and that's the blue bucket there is the feed, that's water tank, and some other, we'll move this over to there inside that building as well. So I won't have to reinforce that whole 2/3, but I will have to do that one. So that's the haps right now. I am doing okay. I was really upset for a few days because, Blossom was a fave. And when I came out and the dogs did not turn and run from me at first, was very upsetting. There were 6 of them, and 3 of them were little puppies. I'm sorry, 4 of them were little, and not tiny puppies. I mean, they're probably 4 months old, 5 months old, and then the 2 adults, and they all started running toward me, but they did turn and run away after I started yelling and waving my arms. And then to realize that this was for sport. This was not because they were hungry. And that's what a couple other people in the neighborhood suggested, is that there's a dino chicken, and see that fabulous tail. But this break-in was not because they were hungry, because they did not eat what they killed, what they unalived. Sorry, not supposed to say that word. The K word or the D word when it has to do with unalive or being alive. So they did not eat what they unalived. They just left it lying there. So I don't believe, it's possible there are between 15 and 16 dogs there. And they just keep having puppies and puppies and puppies. And the rest of the neighbors also complain about the dogs being able to run around. Ooh, got a fly. Those dino chickens are fast. I mean, they're a lot faster than the other chickens. And they don't even need Mr. Miyagi because they can pick flies right out of the air. It's amazing. All right, everyone. So you new homesteaders, make sure your chicken coops are very, very strong from the beginning. because stuff will happen. I mean, I know I have coyotes in the neighborhood. I'm told there's cougars in the neighborhood, and foxes and badgers. And then, I don't know if you can see the little chipmunks. Now, they're not going to kill. Oh, there he is up there. I didn't think he could get up there. Well, obviously he can. Now, there's a mom and a dad chipmunk. And while I was sitting here earlier, I was hoping it would happen today while I'm doing this video, but it hasn't yet. But right here next to me, see, here's the wire, and I can touch the deck box. Came right around the corner, tried to get in right down here, and realized that I now have chicken. I have the hardware wire, and he couldn't get in. But I'm sitting right here. And he looked up at me like, how come I can't get in anymore? Here's Elvis. And then he sprinted away. 'Cause that's what they do, is sprint. So here's Elvis. And there's Buttercup. And there's Smoke. So I'm glad Smoke survived. And the other dino chicken is around here. But I had 3 dino chickens in with the Chicky Babe flock. And so we lost 1 dino chicken, and there's the other dino chicken underneath the ladder way back there. And that poor chicken lost every tail feather but 2. So now we're going to have to wait till that guy molts, or that lady molts, and she'll grow back her tail feathers. But it's sad. She's only got 2 tail feathers left, but she was fast enough, she got away. And I was able to catch her, and I looked her over, and she didn't have any more injuries. So I just put her back in the coop with her lack of tail feathers. Huh, Elvis? How undignified to lose your tail feathers. But you did quite well. You survived unscathed. I'm so glad. And Buttercup, too. She did lose a few feathers, but she was okay. They were all traumatized because all of these chickens are brand new. They're only 3 or 4 months old. And no, they're older than that now. But they didn't know that those dogs were a danger. The other dog we had here for a while, she was not a danger to the chickens. So they didn't know to be afraid. And that makes me sad to have had learned the way they did. Alrighty, I think I'm having a visitor. So coming up the road, so I'm gonna end this video because it is just hit 30 minutes. wanted to let you all know what's going on. I'm going to continue working down this wall and then do the other wall. And there is another half to this story, but we'll get into that another day. Ooh, I have a fly that's biting me. Ouch. Okay, Elvis. Okay. Okay, you guys. And the dino chickens are over there taking a power nap. All right, everyone. Thanks for hanging in with me while I'm taking a long time to get my videos out. I've really started in, doing it. See that chicken? The dino chicken running around like that. It was following a fly. And then the attack happened, and I was really upset for a couple of days, and it was difficult. So sorry. All right, y'all. Thank you. September 19th, Cindy's birthday. Today is your birthday. Happy birthday to you. Okay, that's all I'm allowed on YouTube, or else well, there's some chicken butts right there. And there's a dino chicken getting a drink. And here's Elvis wondering what I'm doing and why I'm not inside hanging out with him. And there's the other dino chicken just stretching. All right, everyone. I'm hearing dogs barking. I'm really jumpy right now because it was okay. We're done. We're done talking about it today. All right, everyone, have a great rest of your day, and thank you for stopping by, viewing my video. Please like, subscribe, and share. I want to start rebuilding my channel and my subscribers. And there's one of the chipmunks right behind me. All right. We'll see y'all later. God bless from Desert Rest, Nevada.